Grief is an interesting emotion. It's based on loss, of course, and it's significant loss in our lives. And many of us have been through grief, and it's something that seems so painful when we're going through it. So let me start by reading you a scripture verse from John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid. The thing about grief is everyone deals with it differently. There's no manual, there's no right or wrong way to deal with grief. But grief comes in waves. There's all of a sudden, unpredictably, this wave of emotion that might come upon you. And I tell people, let the emotion flow through you. Don't resist it. Don't hold back, but let those feelings flow through you, because that's part of what grief is. And it might come at an unpredictable time or an inopportune time. But I don't want you to resist it, because that which we resist persists. So let it flow through you. In fact, you have to go through it to get through it. Now, grief can be sadness, it can be hurt, it can be disappointment, it can feel like physical pain, like an ache. Everyone deals with it differently, and everyone is affected by it in different ways. The story about Martha and Mary and Jesus coming to resurrect Lazarus, but he died. He was dead for 4 days, and they were grieving his loss and wondering, when was Jesus going to arrive? When was he going to come? But when Jesus came and he saw Mary and Martha grieving, and he saw all these others grieving with them, he wept. And he weeps when we grieve. He's there with us through our grief. What a lot of people don't realize is that suffering and healing often occur simultaneously. Therefore, I don't want you to deny the pain, to repress it, to avoid it, because that will not allow it to heal. That will not allow you to flow through it and to be able to get to the other side. So what can you do? What can you do with that pain? What you can do is you can talk about it. You can share it with others. You can get into a support group. There's plenty of grief support groups out there. But one thing that I find incredibly helpful with grief is to write about it. Now, some people will journal. They'll write in the journal on a regular basis. But I encourage people to write a letter. Write a letter to that person who may be passed, or maybe that person who you divorced or they divorced you, so that you can get that pain out from inside of you. Put it on paper, put it on a computer, but to be able to release it. So in therapy, I will often have people write the letter and read the letter. Bring a letter in with that person, that picture of that person, and read the letter out loud as if the person was sitting in the chair. And after we process it, after we talk through it, then I move to the chair and I play that person. Now, I am very familiar with grief.